I think it is very important for like us whenever we're even like purchasing some product online or just like going to a doctor or clinic, we always look at the review first. I think that's very important. And Stress.SG has a lot of good comments, and also I check others' blog on how are their experiences, what kind of help could Stress.SG provide, and all of them look like they're going to suit my needs and going to help me on my own problems, like emotional problems. I'm Shin, and I overcame anxiety, insecurities, and confidence within the 5 sessions I had with Chris. So after every session, I can feel like my mental health has become stronger each time. The first time I feel very relaxed and relief. The second time I actually feel like I am more hopeful, and I already shook off the stage of like, oh, I'm so helpless, I'm so hopeless. And then every time after the session, I feel like I can perceive things more positively, which is a huge problem of me before, that I always take things quite negatively. But after our sessions, like every time, every week, I feel like my mental health is improving, and the way that I treat my life has become a lot more positively, and eventually I become happier. There are a lot of reasons, and I think one of the reasons because it's actually causing me some troubles within my daily life. And even if it's just during work or even my personal social life and even my relationship with my partner, I feel like those are being impacted because of my own emotional troubles. And that's why when I realized that I actually need some help, and I need some help from the professionals. Yeah, the sessions were conducted in a lot of different ways and a lot of different practice. And Chris would always guide me through all of the practice, and sometimes like when I was still not fully relaxed in the sense that he wanted me to be in, he will also help me to guide me through all of the practices that I need to go through. And throughout the sessions, every time after finishing a session, I always feel more relaxed, and my mind is a lot more eased afterwards, and just everything feels a lot better. For me, the program is relatively easy because Chris is always there to guide and instruct throughout the entire process. I didn't feel stressful or any kind of like burdened before coming to the session. Instead, I feel very looking forward to come to the session because I know it's gonna help me to feel better. Because I mentally feel better, so I feel like physically I also feel better because I always believe my mind is always leading my body. And after every session, I just feel like I am a lot more hopeful, and I feel a lot more eased. And also I started to perceive things in a more positive way. I don't think the session is too long to have like 2 or 3 hours. It's like there's a saying in Chinese that if you're doing something you enjoy doing, the time will pass by really fast. I think it's the same thing. So throughout my sessions with Chris, I always feel like, oh, I just sit down. And a lot of times, because he is like providing a lot of bespoke solution to my own problem and help me to tackle my own problem, I feel like I'm just chatting with a friend, and that friend would provide me with a lot of good suggestions. So that's why every time after talking for 2 to 3 hours, I might just feel a bit thirsty, but I never found it too long. So as a girl, I feel very safe, and I'm in a very comfortable situation when I'm talking to Chris during the sessions. Firstly, he always recorded our session, and we all know that recording is the best way to protect ourselves nowadays. So that's why, first of all, I feel like I am being reassured and I have some guarantee behind all of the sessions. And secondly, Chris as a counselor, I feel very safe when we are conducting the sessions. It's because trust has always been built up throughout the time. And since the first time of my session with Chris, he's always like very respectful for me as a girl and as a woman. And he has always been like I didn't even realize there's a gender issue throughout the session. I think that's a perfect thing to happen. So as the entire environment in the office, I feel very safe. I don't think there's any danger can happen in this office. So environment and Chris himself and even the recording device, all of the factors combining together makes me feel perfectly fine. So I decided to give my review because, first of all, I think the way how I chose Stress.SG was because I read the reviews. And after experiencing all these sessions, I decided to also give my own reviews to help those people who are having a similar issue for their better judgment on whether they should choose this or not. So I always wanted to encourage people who are having emotional issues to actually seek help and try to feel better. And that's why I want to give my recommendation to as also like an encouragement for those people, like, hey, there are a lot of successful cases. Why can you not be one of us? I would definitely recommend the program to those who are also suffering from maybe insecurities and anxiety problem, and also having confidence problem. Even though I'm not I'm not an expert in this area, but based on my own experiences, I would definitely recommend it to my friends and all those people who are having similar kind of emotional problems. So I think it is very good. At least from my own experiences, it is very helpful. So I also kind of encourage people who are also having the similar problem to take your step out and try different things and seek help from the professionals.